Hello friends, today we are diving into the fascinating world of English tenses, exploring 12 different tenses along with their sentence structures, usages and examples. So let's get started. First, let's lay the groundwork by understanding the various verb forms we will encounter throughout our journey into tenses. In English, verbs take on different forms depending on the tense being used. Here are the main verb forms we will encounter. Number 1, V1 or verbs base form. Number 2, V2 or simple past form. Number 3, V3 past participle form. Number 4, VS or ES form. And number 5, VING form. For example, played, 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 plays, playing. Eat, ate, eaten, eats, eating. Swim, swam, swum, swims, swimming. So these are the 5 verb forms. Please remember them. Now, let's delve into each tenses. Number 1, simple present tense. The sentence structure is subject plus verb's first form or verb's SES form plus object. The verb remains in its base form for all persons except third person singular, which usually adds S or ES. The simple present tense is a verb tense used to describe number 1, habits or routines. These are actions that occur regularly or repeatedly. For example, I play cricket every day. Number 2, facts or general truths. These are statements that are always true or true most of the time. The earth is round. And number 3, scheduled events. These are events that occur at specific times in the future. The movie starts at 7:30 p.m. So, the simple present tense is used for habits, facts, and schedule events in the present. Number 2, present continuous tense. The sentence structure is subject plus to be verb, which is am, is, or are, plus verb's ing form plus object. The to be verb changes according to the subject. Am for first person singular, is for third person singular, and are for plural and all other persons. The present continuous tense is a verb tense used to describe number 1, actions happening at the moment of speaking. These are actions occurring right now. For example, she is reading a book right now. Number 2, temporary actions. These are actions occurring around the present time but not necessarily habitual. They are staying at a hotel while their house is being renovated. And number 3, scheduled future events. This usage is used to describe future events that are planned or arranged. While this might seem like a contradiction, it's common in English to use this tense for future events that have been firmly scheduled or arranged. For example, I am meeting my friend tomorrow at 10 a.m. So, the present continuous tense describes ongoing actions happening now, temporary actions, and scheduled future events. Number 3, present perfect tense. The sentence structure is subject plus have or has plus verb's third form plus object. The present perfect tense is a verb tense used to describe number 1, actions that happened at an unspecified time before now. These are actions that occurred at some point in the past, but the exact time is not mentioned. For example, she has visited Paris recently. Number 2, actions that started in the past and continue in the present. These are actions that began in the past and are still happening now. We have known each other since childhood. And number 3, very recent past actions. These are actions that have been completed very recently. He has just finished his homework. So, present perfect tense is used for actions happening at an unspecified time before now, actions that started in the past and still continue in the present, and very recent past actions. Number 4, present perfect continuous tense. The sentence structure is subject plus have been or has been plus base form of verb plus ing, which is verb's ing form plus object. The present perfect continuous tense is typically used in following context. Number 1, to describe actions or situations that started in the past and have continued up to the present moment. It highlights the ongoing nature and duration of the action. He has been working at the company since 5 years. Number 2, to describe actions that have recently stopped. She looks tired because she has been working very hard. And number 3, repeated actions. It can be used for temporary situations or repeated actions happening over a specific period. She has been going to the gym every day for a month. So when you want to give importance to duration and continuity, use the present perfect continuous tense. So we have learned all 4 present tenses. Now let's look into the past. So let's learn the 5th tense, simple past tense. The sentence structure of simple past tense is subject plus verb second form plus object. Simple past tense is typically used when number 1, to describe completed actions or event in the past. He finished his homework last night. Number 2, to narrate a sequence of past events. He woke up, brushed the teeth, and then went to work. And number 3, to express habits or states in the past. They always played football together on Sundays. So, the simple past tense is used to convey a sense of definiteness and completion regarding the action or event in the past. Number 6, past continuous tense. The sentence structure of past continuous tense is subject plus was or were plus verb's ing form plus object. The past continuous tense is typically used when number 1, to describe actions that were ongoing at a specific time or over a period of time in the past. She was studying when I came. Number 2, to describe interrupted actions in the past. I was eating dinner when the phone rang. And number 3, to provide background information in a narrative or story. The sun was shining brightly and the birds were singing in the trees as I walked down the street. So, the past continuous tense is used for ongoing actions at a specific time in the past, interrupted actions, and providing background information. Let's look into the next tense. Number 7, past perfect tense. The sentence structure is subject plus had plus past participle form of verb or verb's third form plus object. The past perfect tense is typically used when number 1, to describe an action that happened before another action in the past. She had already eaten the dinner when I arrived. Number 2, to express hypothetical situations or regrets about the past. If I had known you were coming, I would have baked a cake. And number 3, to talk about actions that were completed before a specific point in the past. By the time the rain stopped, the roads had flooded. So, the past perfect tense helps to establish the sequence of events in the past or to indicate actions that were completed before a certain point. Number 8, past perfect continuous tense. The sentence structure is subject plus had been plus verb's ing form plus object. The past perfect continuous tense is typically used in following context. Number 1, to describe actions or situation that had been ongoing for a period of time before another action or point in the past. She had been waiting for the bus for an hour when it finally arrived. Number 2, to emphasize the duration or length of time of the ongoing action before a specific point in the past. They had been living in New York for 5 years before they moved to Los Angeles. And number 3, to describe parallel actions in the past. Here, we describe both actions that were ongoing simultaneously in the past. While he had been working on his assignment, she had been reading a book. So, the past perfect continuous tense helps to convey the idea of actions or situation that had been happening continuously for a period of time before a specific reference point in the past. So, now we learned the 4 past tenses as well. Now comes the future. Number 9, simple future tense. The sentence structure is subject plus will or shall plus verb's base form or verb's first form plus object. The simple future tense is typically used in following context. Number 1, to express predictions, promises, or intentions about future events. I will call you tomorrow. Number 2, to talk about scheduled events or plans. They will travel to Europe next summer. And number 3, spontaneous decisions or offers. She will help you with your homework. The simple future tense helps to convey the idea of future actions or events that are planned, expected, or decided upon at the time of speaking. Number 10, future continuous tense. The sentence structure is subject plus will be plus present participle or verb's ing form plus object. The future continuous tense is typically used in following context. Number 1, to describe actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. For example, at 8 p.m. tomorrow, they will be having dinner. Number 2, to predict or speculate about ongoing actions in the future. I think they will be studying when we arrive. And number 3, to express plans or arrangements for the future. Tomorrow afternoon, he will be playing tennis with his friends. This tense is often used to talk about actions that will be happening at a specific time in the future or to express plans or arrangements. Number 11, future perfect tense. The sentence structure is subject plus will have plus verb's third form plus object. The future perfect tense is typically used when, number 1, to describe an action that will be completed before another action or point in the future. By the time you arrive, I will have finished my work. Number 2, to express expectations or assumptions about future events. I believe they will have reached the airport by noon. And number 3, to talk about achievements or accomplishments that will have been attained by a certain time in the future. For example, by the end of the year, she will have graduated from the university. So, the future perfect tense helps to convey the idea of actions that will be finished or accomplishment that will have been attained by a specific time or event in the future. Number 12, future perfect continuous tense. The sentence structure is subject plus will have been plus verb's ing form plus object. The future perfect continuous tense is typically used in following context. Number 1, to describe actions or situations that will have been ongoing for a period of time before reaching to certain point or event in the future. For example, by the time you arrive tomorrow, I will have been waiting for 2 hours. Number 2, to emphasize the duration or length of the time of the ongoing action up to a specific time or event in the future. By next month, they will have been living in the city for 5 years. And number 3, expressing expectations about an ongoing action. While this can overlap with future continuous tense, the future perfect continuous tense adds the element of duration. After this semester, she will have been studying French for 3 years. So, the future perfect continuous tense helps convey the idea of actions or situations that will have been happening continuously for a period of time before reaching a certain point or event in the future. So, this is all about future tenses. And finally, we have learned all 12 tenses. Now, let me give you an exercise. Identify which type of tense the following sentence belongs to. He reads the newspaper every day. He was reading the newspaper when I arrived. By the time you reach, he will have read the newspaper. Pause the video, solve the exercise, and message your answers in the comment. I will be waiting for your reply. I hope you would have given the correct answer. And to know my answer, please check the description. That's all in this video. Finally, we learned all 12 tenses in one video. I know there will be still many doubts of yours. I would love it if you could share your doubts or feedbacks in the comment. I will be creating separate videos on each of your doubts. Also, I have created a separate playlist on tenses. Please check it. The link is in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like the video. It motivates me a lot. Do not forget to share and subscribe the channel. We will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.